Hi everybody, my name is Larissa Martincic. Thank you for tuning into God is Giving. Be sure to subscribe because we are talking about all things spirituality. This is the channel where I make spirituality a simple journey for you. And if you like to hear about numerology, angels, laws of attraction, manifestation, vibrational abundance, and just how you can live and feel better in your life, then you are in the right spot. So I wanted to take a minute and just kind of share the journey. You know, a lot of times you'll see people and you'll see them at the top, like you'll see them having success and you'll see them where they just have this glow or how everything just seems to have all worked out for them. But you don't really realize that it's been a lifelong struggle to get there, or that it was a battle or a journey, or there was heartache or hardship along the way. And I think if more people really actually talk about the journey on the process of becoming, I think it would make it less scary, and maybe more people would go after their dreams. Maybe more people would just go for it. So I hope that my journey can inspire you to start yours. So here we go. All my life, I have been obsessed with like the deeper questions of life, like the why, the how, you know, like my college roommate messaged me and was like, you've been this way since you were 14. Just a very deep spiritual thinker and feeler. I always felt things. I always sensed things. I always just knew things. I couldn't understand it. I didn't know the name. I didn't know what it was called or what the quote unquote words were. But I knew something was different. I called it intuition. I called it an inner knowing, a deep connection to God, the universe, the spiritual, the divine, the higher conscious, a deep connection to myself. And it wasn't until I got much older that I could no longer ignore the fact that I just experienced life different from my friends. And I became that friend that everybody came to. I became that friend that had a great perspective on things. I became that friend who just would say something and it helped, it supported, it inspired somebody. I became that friend that everybody went to when they just needed a pick-me-up, a hug, or just someone to see them for who they really are. It was like I could see the best part of you and I could bring it out of you. I didn't realize it was a gift. All I knew was I was just being me. And I grew up with my aunt. A lot of you will hear me say Aunt Rita. And if this is the first time you're seeing me or hearing me, Aunt Rita is 92 years old. She is my great aunt, and she was a professional numerologist, a very successful one. And she brought me into the spiritual world from the time I was 14 years old. And she made it simple. She made it easy. She made me feel safe, and she made it not scary. She made me realize that spirituality isn't something you do. Spirituality is a part of you. Spirituality is you. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And it's up to you to kind of tap into the spiritual side. Because when we really connect to our higher conscious and our higher power and our spiritual awareness, we start living an inspired life. We live a life that's inspirational, that's self-actualized. And we start to become aware of our world, but more importantly, we become aware how we are in it and how our world is affecting us. And we start to understand the relationship of energy and how everything is energy, from a rock to, the phone, and, to anything that we see in our world is energy. And then we say, oh my God, I'm energy too. I am energy. So If I'm energy, then I can control if I'm happy. I can control if I'm sad. Maybe I can't control how I go through life, or excuse me, what happens to me in life, but I can control how I go through it. And that was one of the very first lessons my aunt taught me. She said, Larissa, you cannot stop life from happening. And you came here so you could experience the good, the bad, the ugly, the joys, all of it. Because that is what life is about. The only thing you have control over is how you respond to life, how you go through life, and how you create the life you're living. And once I really understood that, I took hold of that and I really kind of ran with it. But I was busy. I was building my family, my children, taking care of them, and just like, I felt like maybe I was more in survival mode than I was actually living. Have you ever felt like you're just kind of going through the motions? You're doing great. You're doing a great job, but it's day in, day out, day in, day out. And you realize this isn't really life. I'm not really living. And it wasn't until my father died 8 years ago. Actually, it wasn't until my son was born 10 years ago that really started my spiritual awakening, where I was on this quest for more. Who here has ever felt that, where they just know that they were meant for more, that their life needed to have a very clear purpose, that they wanted to uplift, that they wanted to inspire, that they wanted their life to have a legacy, that they wanted to make a difference, whether it was with one person or 1,000 people. They knew, you knew that you could be doing more than you currently are, and you knew that you should be. But you didn't know quite what it was or how to go about this. You just have this burning desire, this burning, feeling to just seek out and find it. So I was on this mission to figure it out. I was on this mission to figure out who Larissa was, what problem I could solve, and serve it to all of the people that are coming into my life. I wanted to solve and support and heal other people, but I knew I had to do it for myself first. So I started on this journey. I started to lean towards numerology and study it and use the gift and tools and the secret language of numerology to help me. And I would have more spiritual conversations. I was reading spiritual books and I was awakening my soul. I was awakening my 5 senses. And I was awakening who Larissa was in this world. And you see, once you have the beginning of a spiritual awakening, once it starts, it's a lifelong journey. It will never end. It's like once you see the ending of a movie, you can't unsee it. Now you know. Now you know what happened, so you can't go back. A spiritual journey and a spiritual awakening is kind of similar. You start to become aware of things. You start to see things that you didn't see before. You start to feel things that you couldn't feel before. And all of a sudden, you can't go back. You can't go back to who you were. And you must grow forward. It's something I always say. It's not about figuring out the whole picture. It's about growing forward and kind of allowing yourself to evolve on this journey. I was fortunate enough that I had an aunt who was already ahead of me. And when I started to reach out to her to support me and help me, she did. And it was a beautiful thing. I went on to become a Reiki 1 practitioner, and then I went on to Reiki 2, and I got my certification. And although I loved Reiki, and I love the feeling of Reiki, I knew that that was not my path as a healer for others. So I kept going. I kept going, and I kept trying to figure it out. And then after my father passed away, I knew that I had to figure it out. I knew that I was being called to something greater. And I knew that now was the time. And right around after his death, I turned to numerology as a guide, a blueprint, and a tool to help me get through the passing of my father and to help me deal with grief. For the first time in my life, I didn't use numerology as a fun and exciting way of trying to figure things out. I used it to heal my broken heart. And then I started helping my friends use numerology to heal their broken hearts and get them back in alignment and get them back on track and get them, out there. And I started to see the power of the numbers. I started to see the numbers working for everyday people, and it was solving major life problems in a very simple, beautiful way. I couldn't unsee it anymore. I couldn't ignore what I was experiencing. And then there was this moment where I was challenged to share this with the world. And I refused. Guys, I refused. I said no. I said I'm not good enough. I said I'm not, smart enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not young enough. I had all these reasons why I couldn't do this. What if I make a mistake? What if I fail? What if I'm no good? What if someone doesn't like me? What if they say something negative? What if I can't deliver? What if I can't heal? What if I can't support? And my aunt said to me, it's not your job to fix anybody. It's not your job to solve another person's problems. It's your job to be the messenger. It's your job to be the guide. And it's your job to give them the tools so that they can serve and heal their own soul. And it was like a light bulb moment for me. It was this aha moment that I realized that if I just share what I love, what I believe in, and what I know to be true, if I just share this information with good intentions and a pure heart, I know my words will support another person. And I stopped worrying about what they would say, and I started dreaming of you. I started dreaming of all of you. It wasn't about what they would say. It was, how can I serve you? And once I changed that mindset and that shift, I was finally just being Larissa. No gimmicks, no nothing, just being me. If you were in front of my face right now, we would be having this conversation. And I just wanted to share my passions. I just wanted to share my heart. If I could talk about numerology in my sleep, I could talk about it to you. I could talk about to a man, a woman, an elderly person, a young person. It doesn't matter. I can talk about it on a stage. It doesn't matter, because this is effortless for me, because it's how I live my life. And I realized when you honor who you are and you just start being yourself, good, bad, ugly, everything in between, it doesn't matter. And you just start letting your authenticity show, people will find you, and people will find healing in your pure thoughts and your pure heart. So whatever it is that you're wanting to do, if you're on a quest for more, if you're searching for direction and searching for clarity and searching for purpose, I know I can help you. I know I can support you. But I don't have a magic wand or a magic, potion that's going to make it all just be simple in a day. But I can give you the tools so that you can see yourself in a whole new light, where you can see yourself not for who you think you are, who your partner thinks you are, who your employer thinks you are, who your mother thinks you are, who your best friend thinks you are, but for who God designed you to be. And when you see yourself on a soul level, your soul's purpose, your destiny, then you have a choice. Either you step into that and become that vibrational match, or you continue to live for everybody else. But the choice is always yours. God gave you free will. No angel and no spiritual coach can mess with that. Because at the end of the day, only you can choose how you want to live. Only you can choose to be you. And only you can choose to stand in your power. Yeah, you're going to make mistakes. I made a lot. This has been a 5-year journey to get here. But I can tell you the one thing I didn't do. I didn't quit. It's a game of sifting and sorting. That's not it. I kind of like that. Nope. Oh, that's terrible. Oh my God, what was I thinking? But you keep going. It's like taking your GPS. It's like taking your coordinates and putting them into your GPS. If you keep driving, you're going to get to your destination. My message is a simple one. Stop worrying about what they are going to think. Stop worrying about everyone else and start honoring your soul, your journey, your mission. And if numerology is a tool that can help you, then why wouldn't you take it? If there's other tools out there that can help you, then why wouldn't you do that? You're not supposed to know the answers. You're not supposed to have it all figured out. Because if you did, then there would be no point to this journey. The point is about growth. The point is about expansion, where you are becoming who you are. There's no end to you. You're never going to get to a point and say, okay, I got there. I'm done. We'll put my feet up now. I don't have to do no more. No, you'll get to that point and then you'll want something different. And then you'll go to the next point and the next point, and you're just going to keep going. A year ago, I launched my dream. I decided that I wanted to become a world-renowned, highly sought after, highly paid intuitive numerologist. But until I honored that real dream, I was torn between old Larissa and the Larissa I wanted to be. The Larissa I knew I could be. I was torn between who everyone wanted me to be and who I knew I was. And it wasn't until I stepped in and said, this is who I am. This is what I love. This is what I do. This is what I'm about. And I lost people, I lost followers. They were like, I don't want to hear this. And that's okay. But I gained so much more. If you never start, you will never know how great you actually could be. If you never try, then not only can you not fail, but you can't succeed. 2020 has been a hell of a year. Everyone has gone through something. It's a year of a master builder asking you to build you, build a better you. Don't worry about the world, worry about yourself. It's calling for you to build a new and improved version of yourself. It's asking you to do things in a new way, to grow and expand and kind of reinvent yourself, because you're getting ready for a big shift in 2021. Great change is coming for you. It's going to be about growth and expansion. It's going to be about an adventure of a lifetime. So I want you to get ready for this. But you have to commit to it. You have to say, I am becoming me. And I am going to go after my dreams. I am going to go for it. Because what is the worst that could happen? Like, what could actually, if you actually went for your dreams and tried, what's the worst that could happen? But I can tell you, if you don't, Dr. Dwayne Dyer says, and I think it's a quote from someone else, so please don't quote me, but I heard it from Dwayne Dyer, and it's saying, at the end of our lives, it would be a crime, like, to die with your music inside of you. Like, your music is your dreams, and it's supposed to be shared with the world. I think about every woman that I've supported this year, whether it's in this community, in my membership community, in my one-on-one coaching. And I think, wow, what if I never did this? What if I was to have remained small because I was so afraid of what they would say? None of this would be happening. You have you have a responsibility to yourself. If you're not happy, you need to be responsible for your happiness. If you're not financially independent, you need to be responsible for your finances. If you're not happy for your physical well-being, you need to be responsible. We're going into a month of December where it's asking you to figure out who you are, what you are, why you want it, and how you want to show up. It's the big questions of life. And it's asking you to slow down and figure this out. Take a time out. Don't go any further. Really identify who you are and go for it. And guess what? You'll go for it, and maybe in 3 weeks or 4 weeks or 5 weeks, you're like, that's not it. That's okay. Because I look at my life and say, if I didn't do this, I wouldn't have done that. And if I didn't do this, then I wouldn't have gotten here. And I wouldn't have gotten here. And then this wouldn't have happened. About 2 years ago, I reached out to someone to help me create a course that I was going to teach women how to use social media. And I was going to be a social media coach. And I probably would have done a great job, but it really wasn't what I wanted to do. I was doing that because I thought that's what you needed. I thought that's what you wanted from me, instead of honoring who I was. And in this creation of this course, I realized that this was my true gift. But I was scared. Man, I was so scared. I didn't want to do it. Until someone came in and said, no, you need to make a post. You need to talk about this. And I did. And thousands of people later, the rest is history. It's just like when I started TikTok. I started TikTok in March with 0 followers. 0. I didn't know anything about the app. I didn't know how to share and all these things. And 8 months later, there's 130,000 of you and 2.3 million likes. Don't let your fear of starting stop you from becoming who you truly are born to be. And if I can leave you with any sorts of inspiration, my heart is to push you. I just want to push you to start. That's it. Just simply start. Don't be this beautiful shiny Porsche sitting in your driveway, right? You're like this beautiful Porsche just sitting there. And we just look at it. We never drive it, and it's got no gas. It can't go anywhere, but it's there. This beautiful luxury car, it's just sitting there. But it doesn't get to experience anything because no one's driving it. No one's putting gas in it. So is it really a beautiful luxury car? Or is it being wasted? You're that Porsche. You're that gorgeous, gorgeous luxury car. Except you got no gas. And no one's experiencing it. Put the gas in the car. Get in the driver's seat. Roll down the windows. And just start to drive. I truly want to thank you for being here with me. Thank you for subscribing. If you like this, subscribe to my channel. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Goddess Giving. If you want to know how you can connect with me further, book a private reading, a numerology reading, angel reading, and future mapping, get your charts or any of that stuff, go to goddessgivingtribe.com, and I look forward to connecting to you. Love and light. and enjoy your day.